Like, look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. Oh my God. The pigmentation is honestly like, it's elite. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video. We are doing an entire face, full face of Persona Cosmetics. We're filming this look on my face today. A really fun, like more denim colored blue eye, like smoky eye, little pinched cheek, and a very neutral lip, and I'm so excited. This was really fun to film. I really like Persona Cosmetics. I like discovered them when I bought like their color kits, and they had like a small eyeshadow palette, eyeliner. I bought one of their lip liners, and I was like so intrigued, and ever since then I've been like loving trying more and more of their products. They're a brand that I feel like isn't really slept on, but it kind of is, and it should be talked about more. So we're talking about it today, you guys, and I'm really freaking excited. Some of the products I did get sent to me, but most of the products I did purchase myself, and I'm so freaking excited to get into it, you guys. If you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on if you've tried any Persona Cosmetics products and like what you think about them. And without further ado, let's get into this full face of Persona Cosmetics. All right, you guys, let's get into this full face of Persona Cosmetics. So I already have my foundation on, which is the Kosas Revealer Foundation, the new one, and I wear the shade 290 in that. And then under my eyes, I'm wearing the Rose Ink Concealer in the shade LX100. I'm gonna link everything down below so that you guys can like check it out. Next, we're gonna go on to brows. Since I'm not using a clear brow gel today, I did my foundation first. I'm going on with the Persona Cosmetics brow gel, and this is actually the shade Charcoal. And I actually really, really like this brow gel. I hope that plane isn't too loud. Hopefully I can edit it out if it is, but I actually really like this brow gel. I don't normally love colored brow gels. I feel like they look a little bit harsh on me sometimes. I'm definitely gonna have to fill in my brows with a little bit of brow pencil. Those are the brows kind of on. I'm gonna go on with a little bit of a skinny brow pencil to just fill in. I'm not gonna try and get my brows to look perfect today because we're again in a groovy girls phase, which means it's gonna be really freaking annoying to get my brows to look the way I want them to right now. Okay, so then next I think I'm gonna go on with bronzer. So this is the Persona Cosmetics bronzer, and I have the shade Sahara. It's a really pretty shade. I'm just gonna swatch it for you here so you can see. It's very, very pretty, and I'm actually gonna put it on the back of my hand, and then go on with a beauty blender. Sometimes I like apply it straight to my face. It really depends on how the foundation I'm wearing is going to play with that, because it doesn't work with everything. And I feel like it's always, sometimes if you're not sure how foundations are going to play with other products being like drawn on them, it's easier to go and just dip in with a beauty blender. At least for me it is. And then I can kind of avoid it getting patchy or, you know, not looking exactly how I want it to. So you just take a little bit at a time. That's a really pretty shade for me. I like it a lot. I believe that there are 3 shades. So there's this one, this is the middle shade, and then there's a darker shade and a lighter shade. And I really, really like the way that this kind of applies and melts into the skin and just looks really, really seamless and pretty. And I feel like it gives a very nice, natural looking bronze. I'm gonna apply a little bit more on the back of my hand and just kind of focus the product towards the back a little bit more. Just kind of here, kind of deepen the color. I don't want to pull it too far forward and deepen it too much towards the front. And I really like how that's looking. I'm going to take the other side of this beauty sponge, and I'm going to kind of tap around the edge a little bit. Make sure that it looks very seamless and melts into the skin. I don't like bronzer to go too far down on me. My face is on the smaller side, so it can look a little bit crazy. You can see I have some hyperpigmentation still popping through here. It's so much lighter than it was, you guys. It's crazy. I did a whole skincare video where I talked about how I kind of got my hyperpigmentation to a lot better place. I am happy with how that's looking. I added a little bit of the Merit Beauty foundation stick over my hyperpigmentation that I have right there from a bug bite. It's the worst. It's so rude. So then next we're gonna move on You know what, let's move on to cheeks next. So I have two of the Persona Cosmetics blushes. I have the shade Bubble and I have the shade Caramel. And they're both super pretty. So this is Caramel, and I think I'm gonna go on with Bubble just because it's their newest one and it is limited editions. These are both so, so pretty. This is just like the blush of spring dreams, and Caramel's a really pretty year-round pinkier tone on me. I'm gonna swatch them both for you on my arm just so that you can see. So this is the shade Caramel. I'm gonna put that right here so you can see. It's really pretty, and it's just like such a gorgeous, it's like more on the neutral side pink, and I really, really enjoy it. And then this is the shade Bubble. Let me just do it so that I actually make sure that I'm not overlapping. So you can see that Bubble is definitely a lighter pink, but it's also brighter. And if you can see, it's just gorgeous and I'm obsessed with it. I really like to layer these blushes a lot of the time and just layer them on top of creams, which is great. What I am gonna do is I'm actually just gonna use a little bit of Bubble. I'm gonna take this brush. This is a Flower Beauty brush. I really, really like this type of blush brush for powder specifically. And I'm gonna dip in, you can see, pigmented, and then I'm going to make sure I tap some of it off, but I'm also going to tap it off on the back of my hand just to make sure it's not too much. I'm going to kind of focus it high and then bring it down, high and then down, and you can just see, like, look how freaking gorgeous that is, and it's not too much. And although it's like a scary looking color, it's actually gorge. So I'm going to dip in and then again tap it off on the back of my hand. And I feel like when you're nervous with blushes, it's always good to like brush off some of the product on the back of your hand, although it's like, oh, well, then there's gonna be no pigmentation. I don't actually think that's the case. Sometimes you just need to layer to kind of get it to where you want it to be. So we're just gonna keep layering, and I like to go a little bit more heavy-handed at first. As you can tell, I mean, this side is like, whoa, girl. But I'm gonna kind of just apply it a little bit more heavy-handed, as you can see, and then I like to go over the top with a more fluffy brush and just kind of pat it down. And I think that's the key to a good long-lasting blush. Okay, I am happy with how that's looking. I wanted to be very like blushy in tone, but it not being super, super pink. And you have to remember, like, blush is gonna fade, so going a little bit more heavy-handed at first is nice because blush always fades. I feel like blush is always the first thing to fade. But I really, really like these. These are really nice and long wearing, and they don't sit on the skin. Like, it's not like an obvious powder look, which I really enjoy. And the shades are gorgeous. I'm gonna get one of the more, they have like a terracotta-y shade. Obsessed. I love a terracotta color, especially for summer. Obsessed. Okay, so the next I'm going to go on with some highlighter. This is the Minori highlighter. I have the shade Champagne. If you guys are new to this channel, I'm obsessed with these highlighters. The Minori highlighters. They have two shades. I have the shade Champagne, and they are just gorgeous. They melt into the skin. I mean, look at that. Ugh. But they look really natural in person, which is nice. So it's kind of like it's a natural highlighter, but it's also good for filming. I don't know. It's a really, really good one. It's good for pictures. Like, this would be one that I would love to wear for an event or a wedding or something like that. So then next, we're going to move on to the best part. The part I feel like everyone's probably here for, the eyes. So I have 3 palettes from Persona, and I have, was this the broken one? I broke one of these palettes. I broke my Identity 2 palette, and I had to order another one. I was so sad, but that's okay. So I have the Identity palette, and this is their more neutral palette. It has some great, more mauve tones, purple tones. Gorgeous, really, really good. I'm obsessed with this one. And then I also have this one, which is the one I broke and I had to repurchase. I dropped it on the floor, and not every color broke out. This one right here, which is I use that color every day. That one didn't break out, which is great because then I still have that one. I'm not throwing that palette out, but I had to buy another one. I'm obsessed with this palette. It's so, so freaking good. It's just so good. So look at that. I mean, the colors are gorgeous. I created, I can create the most fun looks with this. And then I also have, from their Color Theory kit, I have their Copper palette, and it's also gorgeous. This is the fall eye look of dreams. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go fun. We're going to go fun today, and we're going to go with the Identity 2 palette because I really, really enjoy this palette. So this is it. I'm going to go on with The first shade I'm going to go on is with the shade Loyal here. I don't really know what kind of eye look I'm going for. I think I'm going to go blue because I've been obsessing with blue eye looks. And I created a really fun eye look with this palette, blue eye look. And my husband really liked it. So I want to recreate that and see if I can do it again. But we'll see. So I'm going to take a little bit and just take a fluffy brush and just put it in the crease. All right, so now I'm gonna go on and do the blue look. So I really like these. I'm actually not gonna prime my lid. Sometimes I'll prime it, sometimes I won't. I don't feel like I always have to prime my lid with these palettes. It really depends on how oily my lids are. Right now, my lids aren't that oily, so I'm just gonna go on with no primer and hope that it works out. And I'm gonna go on with this shade. This is the shade Independent, and it's the most gorgeous. I'm gonna clean off my fingers. It is the most gorgeous blue color. Let me swatch it for you. Swatch it here. Like, look how pretty that is. It's so pretty. Oh my God, the pigmentation is honestly like, it's elite. So I'm gonna take a little bit on my finger and we're just gonna kind of work our way around. So I'm gonna put it on my lid. Just pat it on. And I feel like blue is one of those colors that's really scary to work with. Or at least, okay, maybe not to you, but it's scary to me. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with this. And I'm just gonna kind of really apply it to my lid, but try to not go too high up. And you can always course correct as you go. So you're not stuck with like exactly, you know, what you're doing. You can blend and like, you know, you kind of build as we go. So I'm gonna also dip into the shade Loyal again. And like that is just gorgeous. And that might look like you kind of got punched in the eye, but you know, by the time you add mascara and you do everything, it's gonna be so cute.
Oh my God, cute. So cute. Super cute.
Oh, a blue smoky eye is just like it. It's the move. It just is. And you know what? This palette doesn't have like a ton of fallout. At least for me, it doesn't. So I don't do my foundation like after I do my eye. I have no like issues with it really. There'll be a little bit of fallout, but it's like relatively easy to clean up. I'm gonna dip in again, and I'm just gonna like make sure that the color is very apparent. I mean, it is. It's like it's a strong color, but I just want to make sure, you know, because colors, like, it's going to fade. Eyeshadow always fades. So I always like to apply a little bit more and then kind of just see as we go. So then next I'm going to dip into like a lighter shimmery color. This palette doesn't really, the light pink one in the corner here, Honest, is really pretty, but I kind of want to go with a different shade. So I'm going to go into the Identity palette, the original one. I'm going to go in with the shade Seductive, which is so pretty. I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to kind of just towards the front kind of apply it lightly, just lightly tap and blend it forward. Okay, so those are two kind of like blended together, and it kind of toned the darkness down a little bit, but it's still going to be like very much a blue smoky eye. But I wanted it to be a little less intense towards the front and kind of have a gradient out. So then next what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take the shade Loyal again, which is this shade here, and I'm going to dip a little brush like this in it, and I'm going to drag a little bit of that down. All right, so that's been dragged down just to give a little bit of dimension, and then I'm going to go on with a little bit more of a brush like this, so a little bit of a flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Independent. We're going like full blue smoky eye. I'm obsessed with it. So I take a little bit of this, the blue color, so the color Independent, and I'm going to apply a little bit to this brush and make sure I tap it off. Like that is important for these darker colors. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to just do this mirror, and I'm going to take this and just like pull it down a bit. Just a little bit. I'm not going to bring it all the way forward. That works on some people. On me, it kind of ends up looking crazy. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. We're just placing it down. So I'm just lightly placing it down like that. Just lightly touching. I'm not doing anything too crazy, and I kind of bring it like halfway to the halfway point of my eye. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush here again, not add any more product, and I'm going to kind of blend it all out. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of Loyal again, which is that light brown color, and I'm going to kind of go over it again. I feel like this would be such a pretty, like a blue eye look is like so Grammys, like the Grammys, which literally were just on the other day, or yeah, they were just on the other day. I feel like a blue eye look is just so gorgeous for like a Grammys or an events show, or just living your life and going to Starbucks. I'm obsessed with that. So I'm happy with how that's looking right now, and I don't want to add too much more. I might add a little bit more before I add mascara, but next I'm gonna go on with the eyeliner. So this is the Persona Cosmetics eyeliner in the shade brown. And luckily I had the good sense before I started filming to sharpen this, because I use this all the time and it's always so dull. And I feel like then I travel with it, because this is such a good traveling mascara, not mascara, eyeliner, because it doesn't run. And then it's just really dull, and I always end up having to buy a sharpener because, you know, it's dull. So now I'm just gonna line it. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm gonna do like a light line. And I'm also going to only bring it like halfway. I'm not gonna line it all the way to the end, because that type of eyeline doesn't suit my eye as much. Eyeline, eyeliner line. Okay, so then now I'm gonna go on with mascara. I'm going on with the Jones Road Beauty Mascara. This mascara is so good. I just wanna show you, like, look how pretty. That's just one coat. So I'm gonna do a second coat, do my other eye, and then we'll be back to do lips. Okay, so then that is that done. I added a little bit of the shade Kind, which is like this really light color, a touch, into the corner of my eyes. I didn't want to add any more glitter. I just felt like, or shimmer, I felt like we are shimmery enough. We're good here. So then next, I actually have a little bit of lip oil on. Kiss it off. Okay, so I just kissed off I had a little bit of the Ami Collet lip oil on. Love that stuff. It's just so good. And now I'm gonna go on with one of the lips options. So I have this shade Gratitude in the E-Balm, which is just like, I'm obsessed with this stuff. It's so, so good. It's like a little bit more of a warm tone brown, gorge. And then I also have this in this lip liner in the shade Rosewood. I actually swatched both of them for you guys so you can see. So we have the lip liner in Rosewood and the E-Balm in Gratitude. I'm definitely going to pick up another shade of the E-Balm because this is really, really good. This is a little warm tone for like what my vibe is right now. So I'm going to go on with the lip liner in Rosewood. And I should have sharpened this and I did not. So classic. So this is just like a really pretty nude tone, and I really like their lip liners. They last really long, and I feel like they just look really good. Look at that, gorgeous. I'm gonna put a gloss on top, but I wanted you to see it before I glossed it. I want a little bit of the Ami Collet lip oil because, you know, my lips are dry right now, so we're gonna do a little bit of that on top. Okay, so that is the full face down. Now I want to kind of do a breakdown of the products because I really like Persona Cosmetics. I talk about them all the time, and I want to kind of do my highlights, if you will, my highlight reel. So first things first, this bronzer is so good. It melts into the skin. I feel like it's going to be a really, really good summer color for me. And because, you know, I'm normally more shy about bronzers because I feel like they look too crazy on me sometimes, but I'm really diving into bronzer this summer. Like, that is my determination, and I'm going to be going a little bit more heavy with my bronzer and doing a very bronzy, nude lip, like just fun, light pop of color on my cheeks kind of look. I feel like that's going to be my summer vibe this year, and this is a really good one. It just melts into the skin. You can apply it directly to the face or on the back of your hand or even with a brush. It's really, really good. My personal preference is, again, how I did it today with on the back of my hand with a beauty sponge. Really, really good. All right, so next let's talk about the blushes. The blushes are so freaking good. Again, I have two shades. I have the shade Caramel, which is a more neutral tone, and then the shade Bubble. Bubble is like the spring blush of dreams. Like, look at that. It looks so scary and bright, but I mean, look at how pretty it is. It's gorgeous, and it layers really beautifully. So I like to layer these blushes with creams as well. So do a little bit of cream and then kind of set them with these on top, or do these first, then do a little bit of blush, like a cream blush on top with a beauty sponge, and just dip into the cream blush and then apply it to the cheeks just so that there's a little bit more glow, or wear them alone. They're really, really good, really pretty, and I will definitely be picking up a few more of these. the brow gel. So I actually really like the hold on this brow gel is pretty impressive. And I feel like it doesn't give me too of a crunchy jelly feel, but it gives me strong hold. And I didn't think the shade charcoal would be a good match for me, but it actually is. I do really like the way that my brows look. I feel like when I'm wearing this, I feel like my brows stay in place all day but look really nice, but they aren't too sharpy brow, which is kind of what I thought this dark of a brow gel would do. Really, really like it. I don't think it's going to replace my clear brow gels just because I love a clear brow gel or my soap brows. So I should pick up, I think they have a clear one and I need to pick that up because I really like the hold of this. Okay, next we have eyeliner. So, okay, I'm obsessed with the Persona Cosmetics eyeliner. I've mentioned it 1,000 times on this channel. I will continue to mention it until probably the end of time because this is the most long wearing eyeliner ever. And it literally, if I'm flying, this is like the easiest eyeliner to just throw on. Summertime when you're outside and you're like schwitzing, this is also really good for that. This is a really, really good eyeliner. It's just like long wear, longevity. The only thing I will say about this is it's not as easy to smudge, at least in my opinion, because I have to apply it, not think, not breathe, and then smudge it out. So for really smudgy eyeliners, I go for different ones like the Calorie Beauty or the Victoria Beckham Beauty eyeliners, but this one by far is the most long-wearing eyeliner. It's so, so freaking good. All right, next let's talk palettes, you guys. I have 3 of their palettes. I'm obsessed with all of them. The mattes are so buttery and blend out so gorgeously. The shimmers are just gorgeous. They are really impactful. They pack a punch, all of them. They are all really, really pigmented. I mean, they just like one swipe and you're just really... I hope you can see like the shimmer specifically, like they're just so buttery and creamy and they just blend out beautifully. I don't feel like I have to wear a primer with them or set my lid with powder, because sometimes I don't even wear primer. Sometimes I just set my lid with a matte primer. Not matte primer, matte powder. However, I feel like I don't even have to do that sometimes. It really depends on how oily my lids are, how my skin is that day. But this is really good. This is an amazing everyday palette. I mean, this palette, I'm obsessed with it. I've used every single one of these shades to create like a dedicated blue or green or purple, gold, whatever color look. And I even did one eye with this empowered color here and then one eye with the shade Driven. And I was obsessed with it. It was so good. So I looked a little bit crazy. My husband came home and he was like, "What's happening?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just wanted to be fun." And so he really liked it though. Like it ended up looking so good. I was really proud of myself because I'm not always that bold with my makeup. And then you have the color kits. So this one is the copper. They also have a pink. The pink looks gorgeous. And you get an eyeliner in there. I believe you get the brush, and I think that might be it, unless you get an eyeliner, the lip liner within it too. But I think you get the kit, the eyeliner, and the brush. I actually really like this brush. This is really good for me for laying down color. If I'm not using my finger, I feel safe using this because the way it packs it on is nice. These are all really nice. I think their mattes are gorgeous. Their shimmers are so impactful. I mean, I'm genuinely so impressed with their products. Although they're not the cheapest eyeshadow palettes, you know, they're like $42, $45, something like that. I feel like at least the Persona Identity palettes are. The kit is a different price, but you really get like, at least I consider it an amazing bang for your buck because the pigmentation is there, the blendability is there, and they last really long. So I feel like by the end of the day, I'm not wearing primer. By the end of the day, this is still going to be on and it's still going to look good. It's not going to be as pigmented, of course, but it's still going to be there. I'm really, really impressed. And I also really like their lip products. Their lip products are really good. And especially this E-Balm, I feel like is really slept on. It is so pigmented, but it's also really hydrating. And it's just such a good product. And this I throw in my bag, and I tend to not love necessarily always the natural color of my lips. Because I feel like sometimes they get really pale looking, or I pick at my lips and then I want to make sure I'm like covering up the fact that it looks like a rabid dog attacked my lips. So something like this is great because it has pigmentation. It's hydrating because I have really dry lips, but it also gives me pigmentation, but it's not so light where it's like it's not really going to do that much. These are really, really good. I like these. And these lip liners, really long wearing, really long lasting. The shades are gorgeous. I feel like they have a really good nude like range or neutral range. So there's a bunch of different nudes because again, nude is not the same for everyone. And this is a really, really pretty color for me, but I would also go darker because you know how I feel about a brown lip liner. Girl, the best. And yeah, that is it for my full face of Persona Cosmetics. I would love to know what you think about this look or what you think about these products. Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.